about more today. As mentioned, just really want to start with welcoming the entire team to the Telus team and the Kudo team and the Ultimate team, and the many opportunities to come between our two teams. We'll certainly need to figure out a partnership critter. So start thinking of what your favorite animals and options are, and we'll get to work on that. But as we've talked about already, really some pretty endless opportunities to come. Telus currently has 18 million customers across Canada, generating $18 billion, across the Canadian market. You're very familiar with mobility, very familiar with the Telus mobility option today. Kudo mobility to come very, very soon. And with that, I think one of the obvious trends we've seen in this whole market and across consumer households in general is that need and ability to bundle services together, to ensure they all work together, to make homes easier to run and communications easier to do. So that's why you'll see our suite of services really focus on that interconnectivity between mobile, internet, TV, home phone, security, automation, and then extend those consumer services to options for business, as we talked about, along with the areas that Telus has really entered in the last few years, including consumer health, agriculture and consumer goods, and even leveraging new partnerships and options from some of our international aspects of the organization.
Wow.
So just really an awful lot of opportunity. And being at Telus now for over, almost 20 years, I've never seen a better roadmap of products, services, all of these things working together, that really, again, make this an even more exciting opportunity for both companies. In terms of just a few of the shifts or even things that stay the same, we'll have now connectivity to the home through both mobility and internet coming coast to coast. So in Western Canada, that'll be tapping into the fiber network that Telus already has in place today. Along with our small fiber network in Quebec, for those of you in the Rimouski area, we'll certainly be able to offer those Telus services as well. Nationally, though, we'll also continue to have resale agreements, leveraging Ultimate Telecom. So again, the footprints you're selling in today, that all continues, and we see a lot of expansion coming nationally. From a mobility perspective, we already talked about our network, which operates both Telus mobility and Kudo mobility across the country. And again, available with both of those brands in play. We've talked a little bit about those mobility brands. So I think, in general, the big opportunity here as well that Max talked to is also the process improvements that'll be coming in terms of those mobility sales. And I'll touch on that again in just a few moments. And from a TV perspective, I think telcos in general have obviously had an awful lot of new television approaches, content approaches, all the streaming services that have come into market, and instead of, worrying about and taking a defensive approach, Telus has really embraced the ability to bring your traditional TV service together and couple that with all the streaming opportunities available. So even from a mobility and TV bundling perspective, any Telus mobility or Kudo mobility customer today has access to streaming services, bundling Netflix and Apple TV and Discovery Plus, and we'll bring all of those different content plays to market. We also continue to work very, very closely with other streaming services, and this is one of those roadmaps where I can see so much coming in this space in terms of entertainment, and knowing every single one of us and every single one of the relationships that all of this entire growth is associated with. So everybody's watching something. So in terms of those opportunities and being able to leverage all of these different content plays, again, just see a huge amount of opportunity coming even in the TV sales space. Lastly, we've talked a bit about security, automation. This is definitely an area where Telus already has 1 million customers across the country with plenty of room to grow, but also where we've now partnered with Amazon or AWS and are building now a platform that not only will be foundationally set up in Canada, but is actually already looking to expand to becoming a global platform, working with telecoms across the world, in terms of just being able to automate all those home services and really bring it together. So whether you're leveraging, equipment from Ring, Sonos, Equity, any of the above, the whole point of this new platform is just that ability for everything to connect seamlessly and really bring your home together. We've talked a little bit too about some of our add-on services, but just to give you a sample, Telus Online Security, an enhanced Wi-Fi service, and then tapping into even many of these consumer health-related aspects and activities will also become part of that bundled product set. And another version of what we talked about in terms of process. I'll just re-emphasize what Matthew talked to. Again, with such a background in customer relationships, operations, making that sales process easy, simple, both for all of you as well as everyone that you're working with and bringing on as a new customer. Just so important that we get all these pieces right. We talked about the co-branding of collateral, the co-branding of our websites, being able to bring the Telus, Kudo, ACN, relationship together and easy and obvious for the folks we'll be working with. That process will now include that easy way to get in touch with someone, to get an order through, unique phone numbers and distributor codes, for the team here and across the country. And again, just that ability to tap into the call center, ensure the processing behind the scenes is taken care of, I think will be an exciting and fast improvement, even with some of the services you've worked on with Telus to date. Lastly, I think I'll touch on three things. First of all, and Zainal touched on this in her video, just the cultural values, the desire to just improve the lives of Canadians and all of the places where we all, work, live, and serve today, is a continued value of Telus, and I think will be important for our relationship as well as bringing all of our brands together across the country. We certainly put customers first, as does ACN, and I think that will just continue to be just a win-win synergy across the board. And I'm so excited to just bring the teams together, introduce you to some of the Telus team members who, will work alongside this team in terms of just enhancing the partnership. And I can, absolutely confirm that the Telus team is just as excited about this partnership, as we have been for those of us who've been close to it across Telus and ACN. This is such an area of opportunity where, with your warm relationships, the approach you take with customers, it's not a place that Telus is good at today. And so we're so excited to be able to partner with ACN across the country. Make it easy to access all these new products, services, expand into that small business health space. And again, I see, nothing but growth and opportunity as we continue on. So I think, just again, a massive thank you. So excited to be able to announce this today.